Hello, I am Dr. Vikas Bore, gynecologist, fertility specialist, and laparoscopic surgeon, Nasik. I am practicing in Nasik since last 28 years. Today, I will be talking on a very important subject in fertility treatment, that is intrauterine insemination, that is called as IUI, which is the most commonly used treatment modality in the starting phase of the any fertility treatment, and which is least expensive also. First, let us understand what is IUI. As the name suggests, IUI means intrauterine insemination. In this, what we do, highly motile, healthy, clean sperms are prepared by various sperm preparation techniques. And this prepared sample of semen is taken into the syringe, and with the attached IUI catheter, which is inserted through the cervix into the uterine cavity, and these highly motile sperms are deposited near the opening of the fallopian tubes. By this method, these healthy, highly motile sperms are easily available for the fertilization of the egg, and embryo is formed. In this IUI process, this can be done in a natural cycle, or it can be done along with the ovulation induction drugs to form the eggs or follicle. Now let us see which are the conditions in which we can use intrauterine insemination, that is IUI treatment. First is anti-sperm antibodies or cervical mucous hostility, in which what happens, the antibodies are formed against the sperm in the cervix mucus, and when their natural intercourse occurs, the sperms are killed by these antibodies in the vagina and cervix also, and their barrier is formed in the cervix, and sperms are not able to travel up for the fertilization. So in order to avoid, or in order to do the bypass, the healthy and highly motile sperms are directly inserted or deposited into the uterine cavity so as to have a good result. So it is highly effective in cervical mucus hostility indication of the infertility. Then second indication is unexplained infertility, in which all the investigation in male and female partners are normal, but still they don't conceive. In this condition, we can use intrauterine insemination as a treatment, and patient conceives in a few cycles. Then the third indication is oligoastinospermia, in which what happens, the motility as well as the count of the sperm is decreased, which is called as oligoastinospermia. In the mild to moderate variety of this, we can separate highly motile sperms, healthy sperms, which are clean with the various sperm preparation medias, and they are taken into the syringe and effectively deposited into the uterine cavity. So we can have a very good result in this oligoastinospermia of the mild to moderate variety. Third indication for intrauterine insemination, that is IUI, is erectile dysfunction. What happens in erectile dysfunction? A male partner is not able to deposit his sperms into the vagina because of erection problems. It also happens in a premature ejaculation because of various anxiety problems in a husband. So in that case, we can effectively use a sperm sample and deposit with the cannula inside the uterine cavity and achieve the result. Then the last indication is donor insemination. When we use donor insemination is the condition where there is azoospermia. Azoospermia means there is total absence of sperm in a semen sample of husband. After finding all the causes of azoospermia and trying to treat them, and even after the treatment we are not able to find the sperm in husband, then the last option for them remains is the donor insemination. What we use in donor insemination, we have to conceal the husband and wife properly, and we have to take the written consent for donor insemination of both husband and wife. And this for this donor insemination, semen sample is asked from a certified sperm bank, in that sperm bank, they screen the semen sample for various diseases, and they give disease-free, healthy semen sample for intrauterine insemination. Before going to for the IUI treatment, there are few investigations or tests which should be done. First and foremost is the semen analysis. In this semen analysis, the sperm problem should be of mild to moderate variety. In a severe form of sperm problems, we have to switch to the other modality of advanced modality of treatment. Then both husband and wife blood investigations are done for a routine investigations. Then HIV antibodies are tested, then hepatitis is tested, then the rubella antibodies is also tested. Along with that, few hormones are tested. In that, the main important hormone is thyroid, that is TSH is tested, then prolactin, and the anti-Mullerian hormone, which is called as, gives you the idea regarding the how many eggs or the how many follicles have been gifted to that female for her lifetime. Then the most important thing is that her uterus and tube should be open. At least one tube should be open for switching to the IUI treatment. So for that you have to do the hysterosalpingography. In that we trace the patency of the tubes and the uterine cavity. If not, along with that, if required, then hysteroscopy and laparoscopy is also done. After doing all these tests, then the IUI treatment is started in a stepwise manner, in which the first step is starting on the second day of the menses. In that we do the transvaginal sonography, and in this transvaginal sonography we confirm the size of the ovaries, whether there are any remnant cyst of the previous cycle, and whether there is any problem into the uterine cavity, any polyp or any fibroid. We confirm that, and then we give, in a second step, we give the ovulation induction drugs, which can be in the form of injections or tablets depending on her hormonal profile, AMH value and the antral follicle count. Then after giving this ovulation induction drugs, we monitor the growth of the follicle or egg by doing transvaginal sonography, that is called as follicular monitoring sonography, which is generally started on the 8th day of menstrual cycle, and which is carried till the egg becomes of the size of 18 to 20 mm. When the egg or the follicle becomes of the size of 18 to 20 millimeter and endometrium, which is the inner lining of the uterus, becomes around 8 mm, then we give a trigger injection to have a control ovulation, and for that we give the various injections which are available in market, and after giving these injections, the ovulations occur usually after 24 to 36 hours, and this ovulation is also seen by a transvaginal sonography in a follicular monitoring. And this, once this ovulation is documented, then at the time of ovulation, on the day of ovulation, we call husband and we collect his semen sample. We prepare the semen sample by various sperm preparation technique, and in that what we do, we separate the highly motile, healthy and clean sperm by various sperm preparation technique, and we inject this sperm into the uterine cavity by this kind of very soft plastic cannula, very gently inserting through the cervix, and which is deposited into the uterine cavity. After this deposition, then we give some drugs. Once we expect this sperm to go and fertilize with the egg which is liberated in ovulation, and we expect fertilization to occur, and after that we give some drugs to support the implantation of this fertilized embryo inside the uterine cavity. For this support, for the implantation, we give some progesterone drugs for say 14 days, and after 14 days from the ovulation once female misses her menses, then we do the urine pregnancy test and we confirm pregnancy via urine pregnancy test. After that, we confirm the growing pregnancy by doing a sonography, that is called as pregnancy confirmation scan. So this is in short the intrauterine insemination process. Success rate of the intrauterine insemination or IUI treatment is around 15 to 20% per month or per cycle in any good center. This IUI process should be done for at least 4 cycles in a proper menstrual cycle time in a very methodical way. And if even after 4 to 5 cycles, if patient doesn't get a success, then we have to switch over the treatment of fertility to some advanced modality of fertility treatment. This IUI success rate depends mainly on 3 factors. These 3 factors are husband semen should not be of very poor quality. That means a husband semen should have at least 5 million sperm count. Then the female age should be less than 35 and she should have a good AMH value. Younger the female with a good open tube and a functional open tubes, then the more is the IUI success rate. Then the the fertility treatment undergoing couple should be of having a positive approach towards the fertility treatment and towards the life. If they adopt a healthy lifestyle, that means eating a very good healthy diet and doing a good exercise for at least 30 minutes, then it makes them mentally and physically stress free, which definitely works for the good success in IUI treatment. If you have any questions or queries on this fertility treatment or intrauterine insemination treatment, please feel free to contact us on a given number. If you like this video, please share it for the needy people. Subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching this video.